So thank you, Gavin, Dion, and Lena. So here we go. Now for the Caverlys. So only going to do the intro. In 1964, the BEF, no, 84, sorry. In 1984, the BEF created the Ernest R. Caverly Award to recognize Brookline educators who have outstanding contributions in excellence in education. The award is named after Dr. Caverly, a distinguished public school leader, educator, and former Brookline superintendent. Each year, the BEF asks educators, you, in Brookline, to nominate your fellow colleagues for this award. The BEF convenes a special committee composed of board members and prior Caverly Award winners who consider the wonderful, descriptive, and inspiring letters submitted in support of each nominee by colleagues, parents, students, and former students. And I have to tell you, I don't get to vote or even be in the room. I just get to read, and that is just fills my bucket and makes me so proud of where I taught and the people I had the pleasure to know. So now I'm going to introduce Howard Shin, who is chair of the Caverly Award, and Dwight Mathis, who is also on the Caverly Award Committee. Howard is going to introduce our first Caverly Award winner. Howard.
Thank you, Kim. Like all of my co-presenters, I just wanted to share how full of gratitude my heart is right now for all of the incredible educators in this room and in the entire Brookline system. It was a privilege to be chair of the Caverly Award Committee this year, and I'm so proud to be presenting the first award. So Jen Nixon Mathis is a wellness educator at the Florida Ruff and Ridley School. The consensus across all letters is that Jen embodies the Ridley motto, work hard, be kind, help others. Innovation. Colleagues praise her for constantly seeking professional growth, attending national conferences on your own time to bring back best practices for K-8 physical education. Inclusivity. She is noted for her collaborative work in redesigning the intramural cross-country meet to be gender inclusive. Community support. Jen is frequently described as the glue that keeps staff together, organizing everything from retirement celebrations to support systems for families in crisis. Here's a quote from a colleague. Jen, you have shown us that being an educator isn't just about the curriculum we deliver. It's about the culture of kindness and inclusion we create. You are the sunshine of our district, a leader who never stops learning, and a teacher who makes sure no student or colleague ever feels they have to walk their path alone. This is a message from a student. She knows every single student by name at the largest school in Brookline. When you're in her class, you feel seen. She doesn't care if you can do a push-up. She cares how your day is going and if you're being kind to the people around you. It is with immense gratitude for your 30 years of service, your unwavering spirit, and your massive heart that we present you with the Caverly Award. Congratulations, Jen.
like to give more introductions and wellness?
Yes. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Carlin Uyenyama.
Almost got it. Uenoyama.
Uenoyama, I almost got it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. All right, everyone can stand up if they want to. Take a stretch break. Come on, you can do it. Go on. That's good. All right, there you go. Yeah, take a stretch break. Thank you, Hutch. Hi, everyone. My name is Carlin Uenoyama, and I'm so excited to echo some of the sentiments that have already been said, but to also put my glasses on so I can read what I wrote, and introduce Jen and a little bit about our 3 decades together of collaboration and friendship. So Ridley's mantra, work hard, be kind, help others. This is something Jen does every single day. She and I began working back here in 1996, 97. We were up at the high school working part-time. We were also at Devotion in Lawrence. We both coached fall sports. We both ran around the high school in our PE outfits and rode our bikes to all the practices and our games. And I still think to this day, people got us mixed up all the time. I still think to this day that Dr. Bob cannot tell us apart. It's so true. Working with her for the last 3 decades has afforded me some extra insight to her awesomeness. And I want to share some of that with you today. For the intro, I'll be talking about Miss Mathis as Miss Nixon, as she is lovingly known to all those bees out there. I can see some bees out there, some of the students. Yep, there they are. There's my bees. So work hard. Jen's work ethic and dedication is unsurpassed. She comes to school early, she stays late, she coordinates so many of the after-school activities and the before-school activities. She's in charge of every celebration at Ridley. Many of you out there have been part of her DFL Super Bowls, her whole school assemblies, and all the other things that she organizes. She keeps tradition alive. One of her colleagues wrote that over the years, she's been the torchbearer of keeping the spirit and the tradition and the institutional history alive at Ridley and across the district. Miss Nixon is so dedicated to any team she is part of, whether it's her wellness team, her Ridley team, or her USA national indoor hockey team that she's part of right now. And I can see some of her BUFA, her Boston University field hockey team is here today to support her. She works so hard and contributes to them all that even when she suffered a foot injury, because she made the national team and was going to compete in the World Championships, she scooted around Ridley for a month or so, teaching her classes and not missing a beat. Most people would have taken a month off of school, but not Jen. She rehabbed herself before and after school so that she could go compete in the World Championships as part of the USA national team, and then she brought a bronze medal home for the USA team. You're always a gold medalist in our book, Jen. All right, there you go. Dedication, that is who Jen is. Another part of her work hard dedication is to our wellness team, our wellness family. As some of her colleagues highlighted, her dedication was illuminated when she traveled to another national conference on her own dime to learn more practices to bring back to our whole group. Then she shared out all of her best practices that she learned with the entire wellness department so that they could then be shared with other students in Brookline. She affects and is inspiring for many teachers across the district. Her dedication is so big that she shows up at Lars Anderson at 6 a.m. to set up the cross-country course, or you can find her at 6 p.m. at Ridley after a basketball game or another event. Her work ethic is inspiring. When most people would just be resting on their years of experience to get them through, Jen goes beyond, and she keeps pushing herself, every year working harder and harder, to the point that today she had a class that went till 2:30, and I said, you have to get coverage for that last class. And she said, well, I can't. I need to be there for them. So that's the kind of dedication she has. Okay, so be kind. A Ridley model that could not ring more true than it does for Miss Nixon. Kindness with a dash of humor and a bunch of humility make Jen a person you just want to be around. Students and staff all know they can go to Miss Nixon, that she is in their corner. Some of her students wrote, She always makes sure that students, the staff, and anyone else is all set before herself. We had a lot of mental and emotional struggles in middle school at FRR, and Miss Nixon would always be there to listen to us, to make us feel heard, and to understand and feel cared for, no matter what the topic was. She used to give us advice on all the drama and the academics and the teachers and even the personal issues we weren't comfortable sharing with other people. She's our family. We really appreciate Miss Nixon's support and her help through the years. She'll always have a special place for us. Okay, I'm sorry. Her kindness stretches district-wide, from the halls of Ridley to the playing fields to our meetings. She's constantly doing things, and her 3 decades of kindness have supported thousands of students and families. As noted in her letters, she supported a new teacher by offering advice and encouragement and laughter, and also helping him out when he had some challenging moments. She even ran to get him a cup of coffee during her prep period. She listens without judgment. She leads with humility. She brings humor when the tensions run high. Jen is the heartbeat of our wellness department. She brings consistency of kindness and dedication that has never changed all these years. Help others. She constantly puts herself before everyone else. Sometimes we need to remind her of that and take care of her own well-being. As another colleague wrote, she does it all. Her office is the hub for the school. Kids can go in and get a change of clothes, a snack, a hair tie, anything that they need. Many of you out there, staff out there, know that you can always go and get a seltzer water or anything else from her office. She always makes everyone feel comfortable, and she's never too busy to help them out. She makes Ridley a home away from home for all students and staff alike. On the day that we gave her award, we surprised her with her award, I got to spend the afternoon with her. And I was just awestruck that every time a student would come up to give her a hug or to give her a card, she would stop whatever she was doing and give that attention to that student. It was just magical. It was the moment. She gave them the attention and the moment that they deserved. They felt seen. Families. She has helped countless families, sometimes in a very quiet, behind-the-scenes way that she gives them exactly what they need, exactly when they need it most. Her support does not stop when the students leave Ridley, as many of the students in the back will attest. Another parent wrote that after her 2 daughters had graduated and moved on to BHS, Miss Nixon ended up coming to help out the varsity field hockey team when they had a staffing, late summer staffing change. So after 10 hours of teaching at Ridley, she then went up to BHS to help out the field hockey team, because that's the person that she is. She can be found riding her bike around Brookline, going to some event, cheering for a kid that she had in 1st grade or 2nd grade or 8th grade, or going to a play or going to something that's special for them in their lives, because she's there for them. Staff, she organizes all of our department's Sunshine Fund, all of our joys, all of our sorrows, everything when we need help, she gives it to us. And we celebrate milestones, she's our MC. I have had the fortunate position of being Jen's classmate at Boston University, then her colleague, and now her supervisor. Watching her grow across the decades and her consistency of being a haven for students and staff has been nothing short of amazing. You cannot find a better educator or human being. It is with so much pride that I introduced Jennifer Nixon Mathis as the 2026 Ernest Caverly Award winner. Woohoo! And I'm so glad I'm done.
We'll do it after so we can get pictures, right? Jenny, we'll make sure everyone can get pictures. Not one.
Can I talk this? Okay. Whew. Thank you. Thank you, Carlin. Whew. So I'm really loud, so having a microphone is... People, yeah, Dave, you know. If I get too loud, someone just tell me to tone it down a little bit, please. Whew. Thank you, Carlin, for those kind words. Oh, by the way, Dave, 16 font, so I don't have to wear glasses. Yeah, learned that from you. Thank you, Carlin, for those kind words. Thank you to the BEF committee. Kim, it was very special to have you be the one announcing I won this award, despite the fact that I had no idea what was going on. I am honored to be a Caverly Associate with a long list of recipients, most recently my colleagues, and so well deserved because they are amazing people and teachers, Nicole Chassie and Kathy Fisher-Miller. Congratulations to Carolyn as well. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to have two specialists being honored this year. It's kind of nice. Woo, go specialist. First and foremost, thank you to my husband, Eric. We have been married for 27 years. We share a love of sports, especially cycling. He has taught me so much about cooking, and of course, we love eating, traveling, and share the love of teaching. Love you. Thank you to my family. I am one of 5 kids, and of course, I am number 5. We all have numbers. My mom really appreciated that. Unfortunately, my 3 sisters could not be here today, but Greg, my brother, who's number 3, is here. Drove up from New York City. Love you, Greg. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Both of my parents are deceased, but would have been very proud of me. There is a running joke in my family that I was my dad's favorite, and that was probably true, right, Greg? Yeah, it was. I am very much like my father in so many ways, from the love of sports, cooking, eating, task-driven. I love a good to-do list, or several of them. I do have several of them. My dad had a great sense of humor and always loved a good joke or pun. He also was incredibly stubborn. Good thing I did not get that from him. But I think one of the biggest things I learned from him was he put everybody else first, especially his 5 kids. My mom was the one who I got the love of animals from. She also loved to cook and was a heck of a tennis player. She'd be the first one to tell you she was the captain of the tennis team at Northwestern. With a family of 7, there was never a dull moment, especially in our summers, especially summers on Lake Michigan. My family is extremely competitive, no shocker there. Growing up, everything was a battle, but in a good way, with lots of laughs. Whether it be playing hearts, beach volleyball, or tennis, or on the tennis courts, we would play to win. The Nixon family has several sayings. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing, and what's for dinner? Oh, and actually, there's a third. If Walmart doesn't have it, we don't need it. We grew up in Michigan when I was very young, and then we moved to Connecticut for elementary, middle, and high school. Lake Michigan is a very special place to me. It's where I spent my summers and where Eric and I got married. If you've never been to the Great Lakes, please put that on your list. Just start with Chicago to make it easy. Great city. Not to say that Boston isn't. Moving on to my work colleagues. Thank you to my team at Ridley, who I have the pleasure with working with every single day. No, seriously. Starting with Mark Sennett, who I've worked with for all my 30 years. We have been through a lot together, both personally and professionally. Love you. Scott Newman, who I share an office with. He describes the way I come into the office like a tornado. Probably an EF5. Scott is always like in this calm state, and I come in and I'm like, all right, we need to get this done, we gotta do this, and I'm always like stirring things up. But I love him, he puts up with me. We get stuff done. I love you, Scott. He's a great guy and an amazing teacher. Kevin Connolly, who I call my work son because he's slightly younger than me, but also an amazing young man and teacher. Love you, Kevin. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the extended Ridley Wellness family, Joel Klein and Steph Barron. Joel teaches 6th grade, coaches the boys basketball team, and is an integral part of our flag football league, the DFL. Steph teaches 5th grade, coaches our girls basketball team, and runs our kickball league that is happening this spring. They are both impactful teachers and coaches, and I am fortunate to work with them. A huge thank you to the entire wellness team. There are so many here, and I can't thank you all enough. It means a lot. They are truly an amazing group of people and educators. When you meet twice a month, you kind of get to know each other. Thanks for that, Carlin. We appreciate it. This group has supported me through many ups and downs in my teaching career, and I'm extremely grateful to be a part of an incredible team. And finally, thank you to Carlin, our K-12 wellness coordinator, who somehow has to manage 40 teachers in 9 different buildings with 2 different curriculums. That's not an easy job. I have known Carlin since 1992 when we went to BU together, and now somehow she's my boss. Thank you for everything you do for me and for this department. Carlin always reminds us family and health first, and then we have to turn around and remind you of that. You are the best. Love you. How did I get here? I attribute a lot of who I am because I was extremely fortunate enough to have grown up in a beautiful small town in Connecticut. This is where I fell in love with sports. I played field hockey and tennis all 4 years and was recently inducted into my high school's Hall of Fame. Thank you to my second family, the Gaudettes, who I met in high school. Nicole's my best friend. Where are you? Nicole's my best friend, and the family has always been there for me. Love all of you. I continued my education at BU as a scholarship student athlete for the field hockey team. Go BU. Woo, woo, woo. What an incredible experience going to BU and playing D1 field hockey. My BU family means so much to me, and some are here today. Thank you, girls. Thank you, love you, girls, and go Boofa. I thought I wanted to be a college coach until I started working with kids through the School of Education. My professor at the time, Dr. Eileen Sullivan, who helped me so much at BU, and I will forever be grateful, placed me at the devotion school working with Dave O'Hara and Carrie Shear, as well as here at BHS working with Alice and Tony, and that was an experience. I did my student teaching with them, and then Carrie went on maternity leave. I took her job. 30 years later, here I am. So yes, I have known Dave for 33 years. I see you out there. Dave, I mean this in the nicest way, but when I started, you were very much an old school gym teacher. Back in those days, we used to play, is Tina Bozeman here? No. Dodgeball. Or as Tyler calls it, bombardment. He may have been old school in his teaching, but I learned everything about how to be a teacher and a better person from Dave. Dave is the first person who walks into a room and will say, hey, how are ya? And shake your hand, give you a hug. How are your parents doing? Hey, how are the kids doing? That's just what he does. I learned that from him. He's the one who taught me that school's not from 7:30 to 2:30. You come early or you leave late. You do whatever you have to do for the students. According to John Dempsey in an email to retirees, thank you for retirees for being here, I took over from Dave as the master of ceremonies. From the master of ceremonies, that's a mouthful. He was my mentor. He is one of my closest friends. He is family. Love you, buddy. While writing this speech, I thought about the phrase, you are only as good as the people around you. I look out to this room full of amazing, amazing people. I know he's not here today, but I'd like to publicly thank John Dempsey. John was our VP and then became our principal. John is an incredibly thoughtful person, administrator, and he came up with our school motto, as you've heard, work hard, be kind, and help others. I talk about this all the time with students, as well as treat people how you want to be treated. John embodied this. He was the first person in the door every morning and the last person to leave. He did everything for that school and the students. John knew every kid by name, and he literally knew every kid by name. I learned how important that was and learned so much from him. Having him there on the day Kim and the BF staff came into the gym to announce I was receiving this award meant so much. Also there that day, making it extra special, was our longtime secretary, Linda Keaveney. Thank you, Linda, for being here. Linda is such a kind and thoughtful person, never has a mean thing to say about anyone, and did so much for our school. She also happens to be the OG of our Weather Warriors team. Yep, that's Joel Klein, Michelle Gordon, Amy Birch, and myself. We come alive during the winter months. So Bella, if you ever need to know if you should cancel school because of weather, you could just call us. I am very fortunate to teach in this town, and I'm slightly biased, but I believe the best elementary school. Sorry to the other principals here today, but you know it. The countless staff at Ridley, some that are here today, make our school so incredibly special. From the custodians to the grade level teachers to the paras, thank you paras, I couldn't do my job without you. My fellow specialist, Eddie Tuberty, our AP teacher. A special shout out to our guidance counselors, Jordana, Mary, Jen, and our clinical team, Amy, Bob, and Caitlin. Our secretaries, Maureen and Kyra, who have been there forever. Our nurses, Anna and Jana, that's not a lie, Anna and Jana, and our admin team. It truly takes a village to care for our students every day. A special shout out to our admin team, Sarah Ewan, Michelle Crow, Mary Gallant, and Steve Similaris. I'll never forget Steve when he was at the nursing home for his job interview. He was in a full suit. It was like 100 degrees out. There's either no AC or it felt like there was no AC. And I just looked at this guy and I'm like, oh, he's just sweating it out today. And then here he is, 8 years later. Everything we do is all about the kids. I come in through the caf every morning, and no matter if I didn't sleep or in a bad mood, it all gets better when I see my students. I come in and I'm usually bombarded with, hi, Miss Nixon, from students, or good morning from staff. I get my daily hugs from these second grade twinsies and a fist pump from Mike Forty, our senior custodian, and that's how I kick off my day. I put a smile on my face, treat kids with kindness and respect, because that's what they deserve. You never know what's happening in some of their lives or how their mornings are going, so we have to be the best versions of ourselves to bring out the best in them. Back in my earlier years of teaching, I was learning and developing as a teacher. From 2003 to 2010, I was balancing teaching while playing on the U.S. Indoor National Field Hockey Team with that girl, Tina. It was a challenge, but when you're young, you can do things like that. Over the years, I developed my style of teaching, but I was also getting set in my ways and routines. Then Scott Newman came along. Fresh out of Springfield, young and full of new ideas. Scott brought cardio drumming to our program, which has quickly become the students' favorite, but my favorite unit. That's in 2 weeks, you're all invited. We have plenty of drums. Then our school broke up. For the renovation, Mark went to Upper Devo, and Scott and I went to the nursing home for 2 years. We thoroughly enjoyed being in office next to the music room, listening to Colin Stack teach hot cross buns on the recorder every single day. Yes. Thank you, Colin. The nursing home was quite a challenge, to say the least. We were on the 8th floor, teaching in a space the shape of a kidney with giant pole beams in the middle of the room, and at the end of the room was a space we called the dojo, because that's where they taught karate after school. Oh, and there was a chapel attached to it, because why not? Yes, 2 long years. But with the help of Tina Bozeman in the town, we turned it into a safe teaching space. Scott and I had to get really creative, but I also think this helped me become a better teacher. We even presented at Maypert on how to teach in unique spaces. When we moved back into the new building, we had fresh ideas, a full curriculum, and it was great to all be back together. On a side note, the nursing home is now the Iris Hotel. It's quite lovely. They gave us a tour last spring. I highly recommend it. In 2023, a team of wellness teachers went to the SHAPE National Convention on a BEF grant, and Carlin convinced me to go because that's what she does. It was an incredible experience. To be surrounded by wellness educators from all over the country, I soaked up as much as I could over the 3 days. It was quite an experience. It made me a better teacher. I learned so much at the conference and was able to bring back a wealth of information to our wellness team. I also learned how fortunate we are here in Brookline after conversations with other teachers across the country. We have great teaching spaces, a budget that has allowed us to have age-appropriate equipment, and programs like the BEF that supports teachers. Oh, we also recruited Kevin while we were there, so that was a bonus. Lastly, I am so thankful for all the students and sometimes generations of families I have had the pleasure to teach. To watch them grow up is truly special, especially those who are there from K through 8. I love when alumni come back to say hello. It's usually during DFL or when I come up to the high school and see them in passing. There are many here today. It was so great. Or I get to watch them compete in various sports. Thank you to the countless parents of families I have taught. There are many that I will keep in contact with. From teaching PE to coaching, whether it be cross country, DFL, track and field, the building coordinator, co-coordinator for middle school sports with Mike. I am always busy, but I do it for the students. Chad Hunt was in my very first class I had as a teacher, and now he's the head football coach. I am old. I cannot begin to say how much this means to me. The surprise announcement at Ridley, surrounded by students, faculty, parents, and BEF staff, and now the celebration today. Winning the Caverly Award, being nominated by peers, people in this room for excellence in teaching means everything to me. Thank you, everyone.